Bob Iger, the mousy messiah, has been deemed for decades as the best entertainment CEO on the planet. Nobody even comes close. But now, that aura of excellence may be ending for one Iger. Yes, it's looking now like 2025 could be the comeuppance many have been waiting to see for a man who has put Disney in a very awful place. We'll tell you why this next year might just be the end of the Iger era, and we'll do so right now. Hello, folks. We are happy to have you here, and unlike the folks at Disney World, we still use the language of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And folks, we're going to get underway giving all of you, whether you're a lady or a gentleman or anything else, giving you the facts as best we can in regards to Bob Iger and why Disney is looking to be, not looking good at all in 2025. How bad is it? Well, hang tight. We'll tell you with the panel. Click that like button, and let's get underway right now. Disney is in deep trouble with not just dislikes on the Snow White trailer, but dislikes that could be raining down upon them in 2025. And this could be the year where Bob Iger's aura is removed from him. You know, Hollywood and the trades have been very careful to curate an appearance of Iger that gives him a feeling of being the next coming of Walt. And that is about to melt away, I believe. I want to walk through understanding that Snow White has now broken a record for the top 40 most disliked videos on YouTube in the history of YouTube. Snow White now has a higher dislike ratio than all of them. The closest was one that has a 94% ratio. Snow White, this trailer, has a 96% dislike ratio. We've never seen anything like it. We've also got Universal Studios that's going to open Epic Universe, and we know that Disney does not have an answer to them at Disney World, and Disney is telling investors that that's not a problem because Epic Universe is going to help Disney based on their historic models. And I just think, well, that's insanity if you believe that. But to pinpoint how bad 2025 could be for Disney, where Bob Iger gets his comeuppance, I want to show you the box office. This is the roster of films that they're going with. Captain America, Brave New World, which is still being reshot, is coming out in 2 months. Then they're going to go from that to Snow White. Then we get Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. Yeah, that's going to do a great. We've got The Amateur from Fox. We've got Thunderdolts. Then we get one that actually has a chance, Lilo and Stitch. But here's the insanity of Disney. They have a movie that they could actually win with, and they're going to compete with it in 2 weeks with Elio. Get Elio out of the way for Lilo and Stitch. Mm-hmm. That's your $1 billion movie, Disney. Move Elio, get it out of there. It's crazy to compete with yourself in 2 weeks. Anyway, the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfette, is July 25th, followed by Freakier Friday in August, which means they have no confidence in Freakier Friday. Tron, which I continue to say I'm not sure that that's a very strong franchise. They think it is. I'm not sure that people are really all that interested in Tron. Then you've got Predator, and then we have another winner with Zootopia. And we've got a big winner with Avatar. So they get to end well, right? November and December, I legitimately think Disney will absolutely own those final 2 months. But up until then, this is a very difficult slate of films for Disney to win with, especially as these Nimrods, I don't think I've ever used that before, these Nimrods are competing with their own Lilo and Stitch film 2 weeks later. But the rest, my gosh. I mean, you talked about a rough start. Captain America, Snow White, Thunderbolts.
The one that jumps out to me because of what it's caused and because of its history, Captain America on Valentine's Day?
During Black History Month.
Well, great, but February is always the place that you dump all the stuff you didn't have confidence in for Christmas.
That's true.
Traditionally has always been the graveyard of the wannabes, and that's where they're putting it?
Right, that's where they originally put Deadpool back in the day, because that was a property that back in the day, they didn't have a lot of faith in Deadpool. Obviously, everyone on this side of that argument understands that there's a huge fan base for Deadpool, but the studios were not so sure that they would get that kind of response. You have to remember that film took a long time to get made, and there were a lot of unusual moves made to try to get that into theaters. This is a slot that has been very hit or miss for Marvel. Black Panther was a February movie, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, that hit pretty big. Captain Marvel was a February movie, I think, if not January, but that was one that was sandwiched between two larger productions, so that made a lot of money. In this case, they don't have anyone on either side of it that's really going to get people into theaters. Thunderbolts being the thing that's supposed to kick off summer for Marvel does not give me a lot of hope here. Thunderbolts is very strange, and I don't think is being marketed well. Alan Ng and Chris Gore over from Film Threat have some sources that say that it's going to be a little bit better than you're expecting it to be, but they're saying what they're seeing, what they're hearing that people are seeing from Captain America: Brave New World, that's going to be a massive dud, and that's an expensive dud.
I just looked up top box office movies that opened in February. Black Panther is the biggest at 700 million in 2018. The Passion of the Christ is second, and it immediately drops to 370. Deadpool 363, the Lego Movie 257, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 214.
Yikes.
Hitch 177, Get Out 175, the Lego Batman Movie 175, 50 Shades of Grey, Hannibal, SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, etc.
Well, and some of those are very much romantically themed, as debatable as the 50 Shades one.
In theory, they're date movies
But date movie on Valentine's Day, that's filling a market demand there. I don't think anybody I think both the man and the woman lose if Captain America: Brave New World is the date movie.
Well, of course, case. Silence of the Lambs is in the list. There's a date movie. God.
Just go out for furva beans and a nice Chianti.
Yeah, there you go. All the Italian restaurants will love that opening. But
so I'm just going to tell you, I think Disney's in real trouble in 2025, and I think this might break the mystique of Bob Iger. The only exception to that is they could have. They've got a triple threat of billion-dollar films. So I have no doubt that Zootopia can break $1 billion. I have no doubt that Avatar can break $1 billion. Avatar can break $2 billion. I have hopes that Lilo and Stitch can break $1 billion. So they've got $3 billion. But I'm here to tell you, they've got enough losers on that roster that they actually could get 3 films across the $1 billion mark and still overall lose money at the box office with the number of flops that I see potentially sitting there on them.
Expensive flops.
Oh yeah.
Very expensive.
Has anyone heard, because speaking of Chris and Alan, I think they kind of had at least some hope. Maybe they've changed their mind, but I recall them having some hope for the Fantastic Four.
Well,
yes.
So I had hopes for that, but Silver Surfette really puts us back into the woke stuff, right? And what did Marvel Rivals show us? I'll guarantee you this. Marvel Rivals, which seems to care more about Marvel than Marvel does, I'll guarantee you when they release the Silver Surfer, it's the Silver Surfer. Jonas?
Oh, I totally agree. And Silver Surfer is my favorite Marvel hero by far.
I did not know this. Why is Silver Surfer your favorite?
But you mean Nolan Rad, not the girl.
Hold on. Is the Silver Surfer really, is a female?
No, in this case, it's the Silver Surfer, but it's the Silver Surfer's girlfriend, Shalabal, who is pining for in the original comics. That's the one who has the deal with Galactus or whatever it is. I don't know how they made Shalabal into the Silver Surfer in the comic books, but it's going to be her as the Silver Surfer as part of this. There's some rumors that Norrin Rad is going to be the Silver Surfer by the end, or that there'll be a multiversal thing going on here. That's not a rumor that I'm putting any weight behind right now, but it would at least be a sign that they understand what the issue is here. But there's also a rumor that the Invisible Woman is going to be the main character as opposed to Reed Richards. So there's a lot of weird fog coming off of this.
Let us also say real quick, Jonas, Just real
Yeah.
quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, even though that's kind of our shtick. This all could start going south for Disney in 2024 if Mufasa gets beat by Sonic. And if there's any justice in this world, Sonic 3, let me look at this. This is genius marketing. Sonic, as if in the Home Alone poster.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey's back there as the Wet Bandits. If there's any justice, Disney gets beat by Sonic 3 because this is whoever's in charge of this.
They
Like,
did
forever.
they did like a 5-minute claymation looking Sonic thing yesterday or 2 days
stop.
ago.
Oh, stop
Yeah.
it. Jonas, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I also there's more of these. There are take-ups on Four Christmases and Love Actually and The Grinch as well, which is of course perfect since that's a Jim Carrey film here. But Sonic 3 is doing an amazing job on the marketing, and they have a great sense of humor. The kind of thing that, you know, Disney with their huge stable of IPs should be able to pull off, but who knows? Silver Surfer is a story, an origin story that actually is better when he is a dude, because it plays differently, because he's supposed to be a solitary man who longs for the spaceways, but he's a prince of this planet that has everything, whatever they can imagine, they can make with the machines on that planet. So they are as in this lap of luxury. And then, of course, Galactus shows up and is going to eat the planet. And he makes this deal with the devil to say, spare this planet. I will find you another one. I will work for you as long as you protect this planet. And he becomes the Silver Surfer. Then he goes off into the spaceways. The Galactus steals his memory at the same time. But when he finally gets to Earth, he encounters Alicia Masters, the Thing's blind girlfriend, who reminds him of Shalabal, his girl back on the planet, Zenla. And that is what causes him to say, no, I'm going to protect this planet. And so the Galactus traps him on that planet. That story plays differently when you put a woman in that space. The paternal instinct to protect is very different from the maternal instinct to protect. So they're changing aspects of the story. And if they just want to switch it out and act like it's the same thing, it's the same weird gender politics. It reads to me like the same weird gender politics that we've seen. That being said, it could be a good movie. I don't know.
We'll see. But Michelle, I'll give you the last word on this. Bob Iger's Nightmare 2025 seems to be encapsulated by Snow White. Again, it's broken a record in terms of the ratio for a major YouTube video that has this kind of views. Nothing has ever hit this dislike ratio of 96. I think it's 96.2%. It may have changed since yesterday when we did the math. So, Michelle, what do you think is going to be the ramifications for the way that Hollywood views Bob Iger and Disney if this goes into sort of worst case scenario?
Again, that will be interesting because Hollywood's just a different world. I mean, who would think that Kathleen Kennedy would still have a job in 2025, but apparently she's still the head of Lucasfilm. Considering Kathleen Kennedy is still held in such high regard in the head of Lucasfilm, I don't know, but I think they definitely got some massive losers in that list. Like you said, there's some winners probably at the end of the year, but yes, the longer Bob stays in, the more the facade just wears off because he can't turn it around.
Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet. That's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.